This is Don't Panic, episode number 306, recorded March 29th, 2021. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Don't Panic, the technology podcast on gadgets, the internet, and of course, it's got to be you. I'm Shaun Jennings, joined as always by a man who just is feng shuied out at this point. Everyone's favorite home decorator. It's Colby Rowe.
Yeah, I moved around my furniture again. It's been really great. So the onus for moving my furniture was that I realized, like, I used to have my desk on the wall behind me that you see there, and the windows are off to my right here in front of me. And so the windows, like the light from the windows shine directly on my desk and my monitor. And I for a while now have been like ending my days with like just like my whole head like tired, like I can't even like move my eyes anymore. And it occurred to me that perhaps that was because I had like natural light windows shining directly onto my like glossy screen Apple monitor. So I moved my desk over here, like, so I'm facing the windows, and the problem has gone away almost immediately. The only problem now is that the floor on this side of the room is like really uneven, so I have to like strategically like turn the wheelbase on my office chair so that I don't roll into the wall. It's entirely possible that I will roll into the wall during the show at some point, and then you'll see me try and recover.
Hey, yeah, that was built by the founding fathers in Boston. Cut them some slack. You know, after the Boston Tea Party, they picked up some hammers and built your place, you know? They didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Now that's what I miss most about my home office is the ability, because right, like from my monitor, I turned my head a little bit and there's a big window right here and I could look out. Do you look out the window during the day? I miss that.
Oh, yeah. I get to watch. So now, like, I can see there's all kinds of like not construction. I think we talked about this on the show. There was a fire in the building next to me, which was a relatively minor fire. Like several apartments were damaged, but no people were injured. But for the last like month and a half, they've been cleaning up. So they set up one of those big trash chutes from the top floor. Yeah. And so every morning at like 8 a.m. they start dropping trash out the fifth floor window into a dumpster, which is fun. But now I can see all of that the action.
Hey, better than staring at a wall.
Yeah. Things are going on out there, sort of. I can also see further down, like 2 blocks down, there's like they're making like a new tea stop or something. So there's like cranes and stuff. So I can see the cranes moving around. That's kind of fun.
Oh, that's cool. That's exciting. Well, I will tell you, Colby, and I don't want to criticize your home decorating. I really don't. I'm very proud of you. Okay. But folks, okay, nobody except me remembers that on a episode of Up for Debate, we talked about feng shui. We did our 4 Dummies episode. I learned about beekeeping. Matt learned about feng shui. And one of the few things I learned about feng shui that Matt taught me is that you're never supposed to have your back to the door.
So here's I didn't know that, for one. That's interesting. Is there like a caveat for closets? Because that door is a closet.
I think you're okay then. Because it's something like it's the flow of energy and like, I don't know, don't get jumped by somebody. I don't know what it is, but like always be ready and you always should be facing the door.
Right. I guess it depends. Okay. I guess it depends if you have a monster infested closet, because if there's monsters in your closet, that's exactly the door you don't want to be facing away from.
That's right. If your door is like a portal to a Narnia type parallel existence, not good. Not good.
If you're concerned about Mike and Sully popping out at you.
But I'm sure you can call the condo board or something about that. I mean, that's gotta be covered by the terms of your agreement.
Yeah, I think the association takes care of like extermination costs. So
you're gonna exterminate Mike and Sully? Come on. That's terrible. Colby just brings in a guy in like a biohazard suit with a fogger.
Or at least have them like relocated to someone else's apartment building.
That's fair enough.
Yep.
Well, that's good. That's exciting.
It's pretty exciting. Yeah. What else is going on? Several people I know have vaccines now. That's nice.
Cool.
Yeah, my parents both got their second one on Saturday. And my dad got sick and my mom did not. But I think they're both better now.
Or yeah, it's not fun, I'm told. It's not fun for most people.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm wondering, like, if it's genetic, I feel like I have a 50-50 chance now. Could go either way.
Well, how do you do with, like, a flu shot?
Mostly fine, except the 1 year where I got really sick.
Okay.
So I think it was, like, this past year's flu shot, nothing. But then 2 years ago, the one right before the pandemic, that was the one where I was like almost passed out on the tee because I was like trying to get home as my fever like
as your immune system was imploding upon itself.
Yeah, I had to stop like 2 stops from my apartment to like get off the train and like take off my coat and like cool down.
Oh my god.
That was wild. That was the wildest tea ride I've ever had.
Well, you know, they say because one of the very common side effects is arm pain, and they say to don't make sure they don't put it in your primary arm. Like if you're right-handed, make sure they don't put it in your right arm.
That's fair. That's good to know.
That'll screw you up.
Unless maybe if you do get it in your right arm, then it's like, oh, I have to take the day off. I can't type today.
You know, some of us have real jobs, Colby, that, you know, we have to, oh, my arm, I can't do the mouse. My arm is tired. Oh, no. Can I have one of my unlimited vacation days, please? Yeah. Real difficult, man. I feel for you. Meanwhile, the rest of us are slogging at 9 to 5 at the office on the computer there.
That sounds terrible.
You know, you got no idea how tough the rest of us have it.
I really don't.
Sitting in front of a computer all day in an office.
Yeah. Well, life's hard, I guess.
Well,
how is your office? How's it been?
You know, it's been good being back with people. I will say that there definitely are advantages. We have this issue. We don't have a big enough parking lot at the office for all the cars that need to park there, especially during shift change. And they're going to build more parking lot. But apparently it's like not late. It's like still wintry and not like it's not warm enough that they'll come out and do it yet. So which I'm like, that sounds like bullshit, but whatever. So in like a month or two, they're going to do it. But in the meantime, we don't have enough parking. So certain managers were asked to please park not in our parking lot and instead to park down several buildings far down in our industrial park where they're letting us put our cars. So it's like, I try not to be a lazy person and I'm like, oh, this is good. I'm getting my steps in. But also I have to like slog my way past like semi trucks in the industrial park, especially on cold, windy days. And I've got to make my way all the way to the office. Meanwhile, my employees are like parking right next to the building. Oh, morning, Shaun. And I'm like, you son of a. So that's how tough my life is.
I feel like that's the opposite of the way it's supposed to work. Like, aren't you supposed to get promoted and like get a better parking spot?
I should have a spot with my name on it. And
right.
I don't.
That's rude.
And it's
you should be kicking people out of your spot. Like, right.
I certainly could. If I just fired some people, there'd be more parking spots. But then there'd be more work for me. No, you know what it is? What really pissed me off too is so like a handful, like 5 managers were asked to, hey, can you be team players and park over there? We're like, okay, but it wasn't enough. The parking lot was still filling up. So then they took all the non-managers and they bribed them. They bribed them with free umbrellas. And they said they literally like found a box in a closet of like old branded umbrellas. And they're like, hey, if we'll give you a free umbrella if you. I didn't get an umbrella. I had to do it for free. The least you could do is give me a free umbrella.
Where is Shaun's umbrella?
I mean, it's crushing. It's crushing. By the way, I'm going to put that as the show title. Where's Shaun's umbrella? Thank you. Yeah, yeah, it's devastating. It's devastating.
That's not fair. I don't like it.
Nope, not
I
at all.
don't approve. What
But,
else is new? And where do you
uh,
live now? Springfield.
you know,
Springfield.
I've got a lot of wildlife in my neighborhood.
Oh, I thought you were going to say in your house.
No, well, that too, but no, I've got a lot of. We've had a lot of. We had 3 very large deer. We had
Mm.
uh the other day there was a rabbit. I've had several rabbits, but one of the rabbits got hit by a car, and then within minutes, a fisher cat came out of nowhere and took the corpse and ran off with it. There have been bobcat sightings in the neighborhood. There
Ooh,
have been
that.
wild pit bulls just running up and down the street. It's shocking. It's shocking.
Wow. So we had at like the height of like quarantining, like all of a sudden there were like coyotes roaming the streets of Boston because
Nature's
no one was
returning.
around. That's intense though. Bobcats. You wouldn't think you'd see a bobcat in Springfield in like such a urban. I mean, I guess it's not that urban. Like you have a yard and stuff, but
No,
like
there's like no. The issue is there's like a little wooded area next to our neighborhood, which is next to a golf course, and I think it used to be their home, and they don't have one anymore. But then it's great when people post on the local Facebook group, like, "Saw this in my backyard." It's like a freaking bobcat in someone's backyard. You're like, "God damn it!"
that's pretty exciting.
It is. But other than that, no, nothing interesting going on. Colby, I had a plan for tonight because
Really?
in case I'm sure nobody's noticed up to this point, but Dan's not here. He hasn't just been very quiet. He's not here tonight. And Colby, I think we both agree Dan brings the entertainment to the program.
This
We're two
is
very
true.
boring milquetoast individuals. Uh, literally, the thing I've done most interesting over the last several days is I caught up on the Marvel movies, which again is the most boring milquetoast white guy thing you can imagine. And so, unless you want to hear my thoughts on Infinity War and Endgame, I did a game.
Amazing.
You
I'm
know, we
ready.
just celebrated episode 300 a couple weeks, which isn't just 300 episodes, it's somewhere in the realm of 8 to 900 picks. And so I went into the pick database, and what I've done is I've collected 9 picks of things that are pretty common. So not common, you may wonder which host actually picked each of these. And I'm going to make you guess,
All
match
right.
the pick with the host. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I promise I won't look them up in the aforementioned
Please don't. The
database.
answers may surprise you. All right, let's start with this. Our first one, the wire cutter. Who picked the wire cutter?
Oh, the original The Wire Cutter.
The original, the wire cutter.
Ooh. I think that was you.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah.
It's very good. I did say this didn't make it on the list, but I did appreciate that you and Dan alternated picking seasons of Westworld, which was very funny to me. There's like those little things you notice when you're like, oh, that's. And I think, was there one? I think it was Far Cry. You picked like 3 or 4 times. But how about this one? Who picked JetBlue?
Ooh, that sounds like a me. I would guess me because I did a lot of jet bluing, but was it me?
That's incorrect. It was
Damn.
Dan. Dan picked
Damn.
JetBlue. I know, devastating. You also, I didn't write it down because I thought it'd be obvious. You picked scarves once.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was a big year for me. I had never owned scarves before in my adult life, and then I got one, and it turned out you can turn like a fall jacket into a mild winter jacket.
Changed everything.
Yeah, for like $7 or whatever.
And for like the 2 weeks you need it. How about Face ID? Who picked Face ID?
Face ID. I think that was me.
That was you. That just you because you do the vague picks. Well, you don't pick like a specific thing. You pick a concept. You know.
Well, I remember that was along the lines of the scarf. Honest to God, it was probably that same year that I bought a scarf. It was also like I bought gloves with the scarf, and then Face ID became very useful when I had gloves because it just needed your face.
Man, that was the best year of your life.
It was a big one. A lot of things happened that year.
How about the New York Times crossword?
Was that also me?
That was you. That was you. Do you still do the crossword?
No, it's
No,
too hard.
I don't blame you. How about AirPods? Who picked AirPods?
Ooh, that sounds like a Dan.
It's a trick question. Dan and I accidentally both picked it.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'll give you credit. But I didn't realize we picked it at two separate times.
That's funny.
But we did. I believe Dan picked it first, so you get that one. How about MacBook? Who picked MacBook?
MacBook? Like the
Just MacBook.
Oh, then I think me, because I think I'm the only one who had the dumb tiny MacBook computer.
Again, just the vague picks. It's not a specific model of MacBook. It's just the concept of a MacBook. And it was a good pick.
Yeah, it was fine. So that computer, I got a new laptop this past year, and up until that point, that MacBook was still my like non-work computer. And I did the trade-in thing, but I forgot to send it. So I'm pretty sure I still have that computer like in the trade-in box, like in my closet. And
did they give you the money, or you just?
No, they didn't. They didn't give me the money. Like nothing happened. I didn't even get a reminder email. And I don't know what to do. Like it came with a prepaid FedEx sticker on it, which is still on it, but so I don't know if those expire or what.
So you got a free box, basically.
Yeah. So if you're looking for a free box to send a computer in, you got options.
What a great scam that is. Just get a bunch of free boxes, resell them on the black market.
Yep.
How about this Overcast?
Was that you?
No, that was Dan. Dan picked Overcast.
Yeah. Darn.
How about Monument Valley?
Me.
That's correct. That was easier than I thought. And the last one here, another game, Threes. Who picked Threes? They're very popular.
Ooh, Threes. Was that you?
That was me. Hey, you did very good. You only missed 2 out of the 9. And they were both Dan's, which I think is interesting.
Which ones did I miss?
Overcast
JetBlue
and JetBlue.
Overcast. Yeah. Well, I knew they weren't mine, so.
Well, JetBlue you thought was yours.
That's true. Given enough time, I probably might have picked JetBlue if Dan had never done it.
That's true. Well, that's, I learned that by I literally went through like all the picks, and which was there's literally, I think, like just about 800 of them. And I learned very quickly that Dan picks like ultra specific tech things, most of which aren't in business anymore. You pick ultra vague things that like are more like there's one that was just backpack. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I'm sure if I click through it was a specific backpack, but you just called it backpack. And then I pick like really common things everyone likes, where I'll just pick like Marvel movies or AirPods or just like nothing particularly specific, just general things that are already popular.
Yeah, I think that's
like
true.
Tonight's pick.
Right. That's pretty vague for you though. I think I would love to see like statistics on how many of Dan's picks are still available.
and they're all apps where it's like, Raptor.io, and I'm like, what could that have even been? And you click through, it's like, owned by some Russian website, and you're like, oh, I don't think that's a thing anymore.
It's gone.
Replay.biz, you're like, huh?
I did go, like, when I was redoing the website and dealing with like pick stuff, I remember the first like 10 episodes, the picks like didn't have links. It was just like the thing in the the name of the thing. So I went through and tried to find links for them. And like some of them I couldn't find it.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty incredible. There are a lot that were bought by other companies, or
Yep.
you're like, oh, that's right. I think one of my favorites is when you picked Foursquare parentheses the new one. And I'm like, oh, remember when that was a thing, when it was like Foursquare, but it wasn't Foursquare? And then everyone thought it was cool, but then it was immediately not cool.
You know, I was using that up until the pandemic. Like that's what broke my habit.
It's a fine app. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's just I think you were like one of 4 people who were using it. But Foursquare now they're basically just like a data collection company at this point. They don't even care about the restaurant reviews or whatever.
Yeah, I think mostly now they do like they're like the location place data provider for other companies. Like I think they're like if you're typing in a location to Twitter, like Foursquare is what's finding where you are, like that stuff.
I'm sure it's way more lucrative than the Foursquare app, so good for them.
Yeah, I think that's true. I don't know.
Well, congratulations. Maybe we'll play another round with Dan when he comes back.
I think that's a good idea.
Go back through the archives. Notice how I'm always the one asking the questions, never having to answer to anybody. So,
well, now you have an unfair advantage since you went through the archives.
But again, I think I would think everything is again. If it's really obscure, it's Dan. If it's really common, it's mine. And if it's like the sun or something, then it's yours. It's like, oh, I didn't know Colby picked hummingbirds. Why did he do that? You know?
I did pick weather once.
You did. You picked weather. No, but you picked weather, but it was an unpick because you hated the weather.
Right. That's right.
You just completely broke the system in half. He's a rebel, man. He can't follow the rules.
They were made to be broken.
That's right.
What can I say?
We have one rule, Colby, and it's the picks. That's it.
It's the one thing. Wow.
Oh boy. Well,
what a time.
Such a time.
I still have to figure out how to get the pics to pull in like the pictures and data from Amazon. Still mad about that. It's like the one website on
email
the internet.
Complaints. People are pissed.
I'm sure that you have. I would be pissed if I was people who listen to the show. We'll get there someday. I'll find the right combination.
We'll hire a real web developer, and we'll. Actually, I'm in the process of hiring a new web developer right now, and it's a giant hassle because I've got to cut somebody $100,000 check, and I can't fuck it up. So it's it's concerning, but damn it if I'm not trying.
Good luck.
Thank you.
It sounds terrifying.
Thank you.
I would, as a web developer, I would never want to be forced to like try and evaluate other web developers for like a high stakes business transaction. It sounds terrible.
Well, I had that. I won't get into all the deals. I had that call today where basically I have I'm down to 2, and I told one of them, "Look, it's you and these other guys," and they did it very politely, but they were basically like, here's why the other guys are morons, and like pulled up some of the sites they had built and were like, they did this wrong and they did this wrong and they did this wrong. And I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this. Like, you are polite about it and I don't disagree, but also it's like, you should be telling me why you're great, not why they're bad. It was very uncomfortable.
Wow. That sounds weird. Maybe you should have the same conversation with the other people and see what they say.
Well, I should have recorded it and played it back for the other people. Like, this guy says you're an idiot. What do you have to say?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Business intrigue.
Shocking. It's amazing you don't get to work with clients every day like myself.
I don't think they would let me. That's probably for the sake of the business.
Well, but it is really funny when you work with like an agency or something like that, is there's like the business development person who like tries to sell you on stuff. And then there's like the project manager, and there's the marketing person. And then there's the coding web dev person. They're always my favorite.
Yeah.
Because they are very much a Colby type or like a Dan type, or like just like a nice, normal person who knows what they're doing, isn't like just a generally like not too excited or trying to sell me. They're just there to do a good job, and they're nice doing it. And I'm like, I like you.
Right.
And
They
then the
have to
business
be in
people,
this meeting because
well,
someone
and I
told them
ask, I'm like,
to.
no, no, bring him to the meeting. I like him. And the business development people, literally, this has happened. They get mad at me because, like, no, you're supposed to call me with the question, not the developer guy. And I'm like, but he knows what he's doing, and you're just going to tell him to do it. So
Right.
I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to him because he's cool and nice. It's very, and it's happened at every business. It's very funny like that.
That is funny. I've never done well. I guess like that place I worked like in college, like in Poughkeepsie, was kind of that. I did some of that, but that was the very last time I've ever done any sort of like contract work.
It's
I
an
don't know.
acquired taste.
Yeah. It seems like it could be nice to like do something and then move on with your life, but then it also seems like people I know who have done that sort of work, like every new project is a total roll of the dice. Like my friend, she was from Boston. She like worked at a couple of the like agencies here, and like the last project she worked on was for some like health thing, and the company was in California, and or maybe it was military or government or something. There was some like crazy security restrictions, so like they couldn't do development on their computers here in Boston. They had to like VPN into like remote Windows boxes and like do their development remotely, but it was like across the country, so it was not like, you know, some like Google service or something. It was just like this company's like crappy like VNC connection.
That's awesome.
So that's how they had to do all their work for 6 months. Awesome. And then she quit. So
yeah. Hey, you know, it is one of those crazy, when you write these, it is one of those crazy things. It's like, who owns the code, right? Well, not a letter of it touches your computer. It all stays on ours. I mean, that's a lunatic thing, but it's, yeah, some people are that serious.
Yeah, it's wild.
Thankfully, we're not lunatics. Of course not. Speaking of lunatics, Colby, we've got some news here in the rundown. And it wouldn't be a Don't Panic episode if we didn't talk about some of it. So, not a huge news dump, but I think there are a couple fun ones in here. Or we can talk about something that's not in here. Anything immediately looking at these keywords and these URLs, anything grabbing your attention?
This vacuum that shames you.
Yes, the laser vacuum. Let's talk about this. The fine folks at Dyson have come up with a new way to con you out of your money. It's the V15 Detect Vacuum. It'll cost you $699, and it adds a laser dust detection system. What does that mean? I'm curious how high tech this actually is, because it really just instead of, you know, I vacuum in the dark, Colby. Do you ever vacuum in the dark?
No.
I love it because my vacuum has LEDs very low to the ground, and when the lights are off, it creates little shadows on all the crap on the floor. And so you can actually see the dust a lot better in the dark with the focused LEDs rather than having the whole room lit.
Interesting.
And so this vacuum is using a similar concept, except instead of lights, they're using lasers. And the lasers will actually kind of bounce and illuminate the little bits of crap that are all over your floor. Like dust and, in my case, cat hair and cat litter and just general cat stuff. Maybe your whole cat, who knows?
Very tiny cats.
The other big addition to this vacuum is an acoustic piezo sensor. It monitors the air intake of the vacuum to determine both the size and quantity of the dust being vacuumed up. That information gets relayed to the built-in LCD. It also gets relayed to the main motor, which can increase power and suction if the vacuum detects any large dust particles or debris.
See, this is interesting. Like, I want analytics on like how much dust. Because I swear to God, like my apartment has been dustier recently than it has ever been. And not like, I don't understand why. Like, how is that possible? Especially like, and this was like in the winter, like the windows aren't open. Like I'm not even coming and going.
But I think that's why it's dustier,
because the
because there's
windows
no
aren't
air
open.
movement.
I
There's no,
guess,
that's what moves. Dust will just sit unless there's some sort of something interacting with it, like wind or you moving around.
but like, where does it come from? Does it come from me? Is it all my skin?
Yeah, you do have a. I've always said that about you, Colby. You got a lot of dead skin.
Kind of.
Uh,
It's flaky. I'm like a walking Head and Shoulders commercial.
yeah, it just piles everywhere. Yeah, keep an eye on that.
Don't shine that laser at me.
Colby, you light up like a damn Christmas tree. Oh no, he's off the charts. Dyson can't
The
handle.
thing like starts alarms or flashing. Warning. Warning.
Finally, we didn't think anything could take down James Dyson and his vacuums. It was Colby who did it.
Dry skin. Well, that's weird. I wouldn't say no to that if that just like appeared on my vacuum.
Yeah, I agree. Like, the analytics are interesting. What I want is like a Internet of Things ecosystem around my vacuum, which sounds ultra stupid, but I want to combine it with like an airflow monitor and an air quality sensor and like a bunch of other stuff. Because I feel like the vacuum on its own is like, okay, my bedroom has bigger dust than my living room. Cool. But like, I need all the other crap that goes with it to be like, oh shit, Dyson is telling me like it's coming from this air duct and it does it on Tuesdays because the heat turns on at 1 mile per hour or whatever.
Yep.
Then I get excited.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff you want to know. Or if there's like a time of day or something when like, it gets wild outside. So if you just close the windows, you can avoid a bunch of vacuuming later. Like that's the stuff I want to know.
And also, this is perfect for a robot vacuum because I appreciate that they're improving on the handheld vacuum. Look, any vacuum innovation I'm a fan of. I need a robot vacuum that won't eat up cords when it rolls over it. Like, they should work on that problem.
Right.
Because, if the vacuum could tell it's about to run over a cord using lasers or whatever before it did it, then I would be a much happier man. So this is cool. I agree. Don't know how necessary it is, but
yeah,
I appreciate the innovation.
Yeah, I've I have a Roomba that I have not used a single time since I moved to this apartment because I've been putting it off until I finally get all the cords like off the floor. I haven't succeeded yet. It's been 2 years, but someday maybe.
I literally have done the exact same thing where mine is sitting plugged in on the charger in my house, and I have not run it once since I moved in. Because I know I'm going to have to run it at least 5 or 6 times for it to like find all the stuff it's going to eat so I can then pick it up and then it will run fine. And I just haven't done that.
Yeah. One thing I have done is I had done it with like the surge strip for my desk, which was over there. So now it's just over there, but I just put some screws in the wall, like where
you go.
And like hung it. Cause like all your surge protectors have little like screw notches on the back. So you could just hang it on the wall. That's what I did. Now I just have 2 random screws in the wall.
Again, homeowner.
Trade-offs. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got my office here has so many cables and cords everywhere because I've got 8 trillion monitor and I'm just a lunatic. That I actually have one of those like invisible wall sensors. Oh,
the Roomba ones?
Yeah, the infrared ones.
Yeah.
And I literally have it can't even come in the office. I will hand vac the office.
That's not a bad idea.
I could not possibly get rid of all the cables.
Right. Maybe I'll try using that thing. I never really have. I have so many. It's like the second the weather got nice, I like immediately found myself like re-energized to do all of my home projects. Like, I don't know, what do I have queued up? I want to get a new TV. I want to like move the wall that the TV's on. I want new plates. I want maybe something to put on that wall over there. I don't know. But I also want my cable, like input cable, to be in a different place, which I don't know if there's anything I can do about that, but
I think you've got what is your input cable?
Well, like the coax cable that comes in from the outside, like it comes out in it comes out near where a person might put the TV, but that's not like, it's not good for me. Also, so the people that lived here last had, they had the TV mounted, so there's like an inset like box thing, but it's
Yeah,
super high. Like it's way higher than any like reasonable person should ever put a TV. Never mind a TV in a room that small. Um, so it's just like that's where the cable cord comes out of. So it's like 6 feet up the wall. Like it comes out of the wall. It's like that's not really where
totally unnecessary.
Yeah.
Colby, I think you sound like the perfect test person for wireless HDMI.
I did get a wireless HDMI thing once, and
Did
it
you?
was
Not great.
not good enough. Yeah. Yep. It seemed like a nice idea, but
I officially saw my first program in Dolby Vision,
ooh,
not
that's
Colby Vision.
I was gonna say
That's something else.
right.
No, Dolby Vision. And the funny thing is I didn't even try it. I just turned it on, and my TV said now in Dolby Vision. I said, okay, cool. It was friggin' nailed it on Netflix, and it looked just the same as it always had with the stupid ugly cakes and the. It's like of all the shows to shoot in the highest resolution humanly possible, it's like you went with that. A brightly lit studio and just shots of people making cake. Cool, super cool, guys.
That's weird. What? Speaking of TVs, what kind of TV do you have? Do you have an LG?
No, so I've only ever purchased, my living room right now is a Vizio, which I like and have been very happy with. And the last two TVs I bought were both TCLs
Oh, interesting.
with Roku built in, and I've been very happy with both of those. They're not the fanciest, they're not the most cutting edge, but they're solid, and you get a lot for the money. So, I guess it just depends on what size are you thinking of getting.
I don't really want a gigantic TV. I think the one I have now is like 50 inches, so I'll probably do the same. Like 50, 55, or I think it seems like 48 or 55 are the sizes that are available now.
Yeah, the last I bought, my mother got a new TV I think 2 years ago at 55 from Vizio, and it was great. My Vizio's 55 in my living room, and I like it a lot. So solid TVs, but I'm not one of those guys who's like, oh, QLED and it's got to be all the cutting edge. No, it's just like, no, it's got the 4K, it looks good.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm happy.
Yeah, I figure I might as well do the 4K thing.
It's hard not to at that size. You will not find a TV without 4K.
Right. Yeah.
The trick is when you start getting into like how many nits of brightness does it have and the contrast ratio and all that kind of,
Right.
nonsense.
Does one need OLED or not? I don't know.
Well, but it's not even that, because there's OLED, there's QLED, there's another, is it MLED? No, that sounds stupid. There's another one though that I'm not thinking of. PLED? No, that's PLED. That can't be right.
You're right. I've seen the other LED one too. Also, I read some about this and it said like QLED is not LED really. It's like LCD with like some weird thing. That's the Q.
Yep.
And then OLED is the new fancy thing.
Yeah, and then there's the micro LED, which is like better than regular LED, but not as good as OLED. It's buying a TV is very difficult.
it's
wild. A huge pain. I don't envy you.
Yeah. Now the question I'm struggling, like buying a new thing is fine. Like I'll just buy a new thing, but what does one do with the old thing? Like you can't just throw a TV in the dumpster, right? Don't you have to like do something?
So this is a very guy who's bought increasingly bigger houses over the years problem. I don't think I've ever thrown away a television. I just keep buying more.
Oh.
But no, Facebook Marketplace. If it works, you'll have it sold in no time.
It does work.
Oh yeah. I sold a ton of stuff on Facebook when I moved into this house. I don't think any were really electronic-y, but literally within minutes you'll be flooded with people offering to come get it.
Nice. I mean, that's what I want. I don't want to do anything.
No, and they'll come right up and get it. What I would but that's the problem with a TV is someone's going to want to see it like plugged in and working before they take it. What I
Mm.
did with my stuff, it was like lamps and a coffee table, so I'd like put it outside and be like, leave the money in the mailbox, and I don't want to talk to you or see you. Like, just take it. I don't think you can get away with that on a TV, but if you could, that'd be great.
Yeah. I wish my building had like a bulletin board or something, because I would literally just like, I've had that TV for like 9 years. Like,
There isn't a Facebook group for the building?
I don't know. Maybe there is.
If there isn't, you should definitely start one. Be the guy who has to put up with everybody's drama.
Right. I'll be the admin. That sounds like
that everybody hates, even though you're just doing your job.
Right. Can't win.
The role you were born to play.
It could be. Yeah. I wish the thing that's weird is like we don't have, like, this building is in a weird place where there's no, it's like it's not like there's a park across the road, across a big road, but technically like our street is also a park. So it's like the parks department is responsible for the street. So it's like weird, all kinds of weird things. Like, it's not regular city trash rules. It's like parks department trash rules, which is like, there's no trash basically. Like, there.
That seems like a problem.
I mean, it's fine. Like the build, the association pays for like a dumpster out back, but things where you would like just leave furniture on the street, like normally in Boston, you can just leave stuff outside, and like either like anywhere else, people just take it, or like they have a big, like, a big stuff truck that, like, if you leave it out on the right day, it comes around and picks your crap up.
You know what though? I bet this would be a fun challenge. I bet if you took your TV down, put it in front of the dumpster with a sign on it that says "Great TV still works," and tweeted a picture with #Boston, I bet it'd be gone within a minute.
That's not a bad idea. I should see. I can also see the dumpster from my window, so I can like snoop on if someone takes it.
Yeah, man. I'm always surprised at how even the dumpiest, crappiest, brokeny stuff that you would think nobody would want, even for free, someone will come. At my old computer desk, which was literally like the wood split, it was falling apart, and some dude came and took it for free. And he was like, "It separates me from no desk at all. I'll put more screws into it." I said, "Hey, great, buddy. More power to you. Go take it."
There you go. So, like, that's a thing. Like, where my parents live, like, you put something on the side of the road, it's gone in like 25 minutes. And they live in the middle of nowhere. There are like 7 people that drive up and down the road in an hour.
But one of those 7 likes junk.
Right. Either one of those 7 likes junk, or they know someone who they are like contractually obligated to text immediately when they see some junk on the side of the road.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
It's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Are there any other stories in here that excite you?
Oh, I didn't even make it past the vacuum one. Let's see.
Well, here we go. We got Yahoo Plus. We've got Twitter emoji reactions. We've got Google inventing a new memory for you. We've got Slack allowing you to DM anybody. Any of this?
What? Wait. What is this Google thing? I don't know. I don't understand.
Yeah, let's talk about memory, Colby. Do you have a memory?
Dubious.
Well, Google's going to try and help you out. They're reportedly working on a new feature for Google Assistant called Memory, a combination of a to-do list, notes app, a pocket-like reading list, and a Pinterest-style collection board into a single, overreaching digital locker integrated into the broader Google Assistant app. According to 9 to 5 Google, Memory can save a huge variety of content, including, quote, articles, books, contacts, events, flights, hotels, images, movies, music, notes, photos, places, playlists, products, recipes, reminders, restaurants, screenshots, shipments, TV shows, videos, and websites.
Wowee. That's
while Assistant already has a memory feature, this new iteration appears to be a major upgrade that integrates the collections feature that precedes it. It will be given top billing on the main menu bar alongside the Assistant's daily snapshot view. Yeah.
Interesting. It could be cool. I have a thing that I've a sort of like link saving thing that I have used for some many years. It's very useful, and it's not like googly. It's not fancy. It's just the thing you save links in, and then you can sort of search them after. But I don't know. Then again, this is probably one of those things that Google will run for 2 years. Everyone will like it, and then they'll delete it, right? So,
but I saved everything into my Google memory.
I can't remember anything now. It's all gone.
The same morons that uploaded all their photos into Picasa. You're like, why? I was one of those guys. No, it's in concept, on paper, I like the idea, but I just, again, it's such an ecosystem thing where it's like if I had an Android phone or like a Pixel phone and I had the assistant and I had in my house, I had the smart devices and I had, like, if I lived the Google lifestyle, I'd say, okay, but it's like, I've got so much stuff. Like I save links. I've got, use Instapaper. I've got Twitter favorites are like, they're not favorites. They haven't been favorites for a long time. Twitter likes. I save a ton of links and stuff in. I've got a separate app. I've just got so much stuff everywhere, and it's so little of it's in the Google ecosystem that, again, I like the idea. My Dropbox, like that already has all my movies and music and photos in it. So if they're not integrating with third parties, I think it's kind of a waste.
Yeah, if you can't get all your stuff in there, how long is it going to be before it's useful to you?
Well, that's, and if Google was like, oh, you can attach your Dropbox account and we'll index all of it using our Google AI smarts. And so we'll scan photos for context clues. So when you search Halloween, your photos will come up, but also restaurants you ate at on Halloween 3 years ago because we have your Gmail. And we like, okay, now I'm starting to get excited. But if it's just like, no, you have to individually save everything to your memory, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yes, indeed. It's only in testing, so who knows if it'll ever actually be rolled out. But yeah, Google trying some stuff. How neat of them. Colby, do you have a pick this week?
I might. I'm looking at my picks. Looking at my list.
Well, while you're looking, I'll move on farther along and we'll get into picks, and I'll start with mine because it's pretty straightforward. Colby, I needed new shoes desperately. I don't buy a lot of shoes. I'm not a shoe guy. I have like 2 pairs of shoes, and that's it. But I hadn't bought shoes in like 3 or 4 years. I needed new shoes. But I don't like going to the shoe store because I'm kind of picky. Because, I go to like a DSW, and they only have like one shoe I like. And I don't even like it that much. So then I was like, okay, well, I'll go to like a Zappos or something, some sort of shoe warehouse online, but they have too many shoes. Then I don't know what to buy. I don't know what's good and what's not good. But then I was given a pair of Skechers. I never wore Skechers before in my life. I was given a pair of Skechers, and you know what? They were very plain and very comfortable. And I'm like, finally, I want the dad shoe. I'm ready for the dad shoe. The one with the giant rubber soles that make it look like I'm geriatric. Like, this is perfect. This is right up my alley. So I ordered, I believe, a grand total of 9 pairs off of Skechers' website.
9 pairs of shoes. To try on. Oh,
free shipping, free returns, baby. Hell yeah. And I ended up, I have 1 more pair coming, but I kept 3 of them. And they're perfectly adequate shoes. I've been wearing them. They're comfortable. People say they look fine, which I'm happy about. And they were moderately priced. So my pick this week is the fine folks at Skechers.com. They have coupons, free shipping. What more could you want in a shoe company except shoes that look better? But I'm okay with that.
Nice. Let's see. I think I have a pick. Oh, this isn't the right one. I just have to find it. Oh, I wasn't prepared.
If only you had a Google memory, it would be right there.
You
just say, Google, what's my pick this week?
It's a shame. Usually I have time while Dan is chatting. Like when Dan and you are talking, I have time to
honestly, when Dan and I are talking, I think you file your taxes and you run some errands.
Sometimes when you get going,
a couple of loudmouths. Well, look, if there's one thing I've been trained at over the years, it's filling time. So I will talk with the best of them while you go through and pull out your pick for the show this evening. Very exciting. Almost done with the month of March. We're just about April here. April 1st coming up. I don't know if you're a big April Fool's prankster or not. Will we see any fun tech ones this year? God, I hope not. I'm so
Yeah.
tired of internet April Fool's Day pranks.
I feel like we should be done with that as a world. It was funny that one time, and it hasn't been good since then.
I couldn't agree more. We need to just retire that gimmick, and I think we will. I don't think we're going to see a lot of that moving forward. Hey, what's that? I see a pic just showed up.
All right, it's in there. I live near a Muji, which is like a Japanese Bed Bath and Beyond. They have a lot of weird stuff. They have a lot of organizational things. It's something like if you took IKEA and Bed Bath and Beyond and like smushed them together and made them Japanese. That's what it would be.
God, sounds like a dream. I want to live there.
Yeah, so they have a lot of organizational stuff. They also have like stationary crap. They have like
clothes.
Notebooks. They have clothes. They have furniture that is like vaguely IKEA-y furniture. But they also have these pens which are really nice. They're clicky pens, and they're like kind of like gel pens, but not like super trashy. They're like a very nice like writing feel. I like them. I got some. They're really good. Apparently they come in tons of colors. I just have blue ones. But like I kind of want to get like green and orange now.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've seen these pens around. I see people, maybe it's just this style of pen. I don't know if they got it specifically from here. But I have seen a lot more of them recently. So they must be doing something right.
They're good. It's weird because, you know, pens and pencils are a thing that you usually lose. But now that I don't leave the house with I haven't lost any. So like I bought a pack of like 5 or 10 or something, and I've used 2. And I'm still using those 2. That was 6 months ago.
It'll last you forever.
Yep.
That's awesome. Well, that's really cool. I'm definitely going to shop around and see what cool stuff they got on here. It says, so you can get a pack. Is this one pen or a pack of pen? Yeah, one pen is $1.50. Now, it is free standard shipping on orders up to on orders over $100. So I might buy 100 of these pens, or I may add other things to my cart.
They have other stuff. I'm trying to think what's there, like, with some classic Muji stuff.
They've got like stretch denim pants. That sounds awesome.
I've never bought clothes from there, so I can't confirm or deny. They have all kinds of kitchen stuff. They have like nice like wooden bowls and things. They have slippers. They have some like weird cleaning things. I have a lot of like baskets and stuff from there. They have baskets.
Snacks.
Yep, snacks. Yeah.
Wild. Absolutely wild.
It is.
They have an underwear deal, 2 for $12.
Oh, baby.
That's not... Oh, look at these. Cotton briefs. These look old-timey.
Amazing.
Yeah, these are cool. I might try some of these. All right. Amazing. Very nice. Great pick, Colby.
Thanks.
You really have done it again.
Under pressure.
And you knocked it out of the park. A real home run. Dan's going to be bummed he missed this one. For sure.
Serves him right.
Out frolicking in the Pacific Northwest.
Mm-hmm.
With the kangaroos or whatever.
Exactly. Your cat's eating you, Shaun.
You know, he has no boundaries. Absolutely none. Absolutely none. Stupid. Colby, anything else you would like to share or plug before we wrap up the program?
No. I'm good.
Well, I will quickly mention I got the surprise of my life this past week on a new Up for Debate. Now, it's March Madness. It's a month where Matt gets to pick all the topics. The first week, he said he wanted to do an online text-based adventure game. I said, oh, that's great. We went very long. It extended into a part 2. So we did 2 episodes. We come back in week 3. I say, Matt, it's your month. You can pick any topic you want. And he says, Shaun, I'm really going to surprise you. I want to do another text-based adventure game. I was like, literally, you could have picked any. And he was even like, oh, it's gonna be like an old favorite, like one we've done on the show before. I'm thinking like all of our famous quote unquote, like we could do a bracket, we could do this or that, or we can do like we have so many create your own adventure. Like we've done all these cool segments, and he's like, we're gonna do another text-based adventure game. I'm like, son of a bitch. I will tell you, the one we did this past week, it's called Lost Pig. It was a hoot. It was difficult, but it was a very fun story. I played it. Matt was the narrator, and I stumbled around a lot, but it was a good time. I recommend people check that out. And Matt has already told me for week 4 of March Madness, you'll never guess what we're going to do.
Is it another text adventure game?
Listen, Matt sometimes listens to the show, and I'm not calling him out because Matt's great. Matt's my bud. But sometimes I think when he doesn't have an idea, he just sort of rolls with it. And I get it. He's a busy guy. He doesn't want to invest a ton of time in March Madness. That's awesome. And the episodes have been great, so I'm not mad. But at the same time, all of March Madness will be text-based adventure games. So come back next week. We're going to play a new game. If anyone has any suggestions, let me know. And then it will be April. And who knows what comes after that.
I feel like you guys should make your own text adventure game.
You know, I looked into it. They have software like that's pre-written for dummies to do it.
Yeah.
It just takes a ton of time. And that's what Matt and I were like trying to decide what game to play. And like, they're very hard to play within like a 2-hour span. So I was like, we could do this. It would take like months for us to write our own game. But I do think it would be very funny. I do think it would be a hoot.
Maybe for next year.
Maybe for Shaun Tember. We will we'll write our own game.
I like it.
But you can check that out at upfordebate.tv or wherever you get podcasts. Of course, our show's don'tpanic.io. We were talking about our picks history. Well, you can get This Week in Pickstory over at the website. In addition to all the episodes, you can check it out there. You can also get in contact with us at Don't Panic Show on Twitter. Email us don'tpanicshow@gmail.com. Make sure you subscribe to the show wherever you get it, including the video version on YouTube. Now, watch my cat lick my head in crisp HD. You're going to want to check it out there. And I think that's going to do it.
We did it.
We sure did. Best of luck to Dan, who's probably having too much fun to join us, sitting in the dark without any internet. But, we're rooting for you, bud. We'll see him next week. We'll see all of you next week. On behalf of Colby, I'm Shaun. Thanks for being here. We'll see you then for another Don't Panic.